Hi, my name's Scott Pruden, and I'm here today with John Roberts from PTZ Optics, and we're talking about PTZ Optics cameras and sports production. How you doing, John?
Doing great. Happy to be here.
Good. Thanks for coming. So, the ability to broadcast sports has traditionally been the purview of like big colleges and professional leagues with big broadcast rights. How has the convergence of AV and broadcast sort of changed that situation?
Yeah, that's a great question. The way I look at it is video has really changed the game. So with IP video and sources like NDI and RTSP, that's really allowed us to kind of send video and manage video in a much easier way. So when I look at something like an Ethernet cable, with one Ethernet cable, you can use a PoE port in all of PTZ Optics cameras to not only power it, but also control that camera. So this is then making you an extremely powerful creative. It's not just limiting you to men that need to be on the field. Now you can be, controlling a whole array of cameras all by yourself.
Excellent. So for high school sporting events in particular, the live and in-person element has really been the attraction of that. But as the sports grow bigger and maybe, there are people kind of away who want to see the games, but traditionally have not been able to, how are PTZ cameras transforming the way that we experience high school sports?
Yeah, there's a lot of ways. So not only is it allowing you to control multiple cameras at one time, like I mentioned, but it's allowing you to control a series of cameras and movements via presets as well. So you can easily preset a whole field or whole play area ahead of time because maybe there's an interception halfway through the game and you want to quickly snap back to the other end zone. Well, a preset's going to allow you to easily do that. And it's going to allow you to easily switch between multiple cameras and not rely on someone who needs to be there holding the camera and making sure that it doesn't get bumped over or they're not distracted or anything else like that. You can just set it up and forget about it and get going and creating.
So what about larger sporting events like sports on the collegiate level?
Sure.
Many of these smaller programs don't have the lucrative network sort of production and licensing deals that other schools have. So historically, their coverage has been kind of limited. How does this change that?
Well, it's opening the door for those because, when you speak about like creating live streaming content and providing it to an audience, not everyone can be there for those games. So it's essential to be able to live stream and to have these feeds out in the public. And a lot of colleges are actually being forced to do this. They need to be able to make these productions. And now because we're trying to make camera control easier than ever before, you can easily Hive link a camera and connect it to Hive Studio, which is our remote camera control platform, and easily send that out, whether you're at a away game. You can easily send that out to your team. One person can connect it, and you can get going and control that camera even remotely. And then you have the idea of bringing in students for those productions as well. And you can use something like a hardware controller like our great SuperJoy, or you could even use like an Xbox controller or a game controller, because so many kids are used to using those now for games. And that's really the power of a robotic camera, is that you can control it with the presets and easily adjust it and control it remotely now.
So you mentioned students setting up cameras. One of the challenges these smaller schools, high schools and smaller colleges typically have is they're dealing with small teams.
Yeah.
Not the sports team on the field, but the production team. And they're frequently staffed by either students or volunteers who may or may not have experience going in with the equipment that they're working with. How do PTZ Optics cameras specifically help solve those challenges with smaller or inexperienced teams?
Yeah, that's something that we really keep in mind. It's why we made PTZOptics.local. It's an easy URL that you can type in when setting up a camera, and that allows the network to find that camera, and you can instantly start controlling it and accessing the settings. So that's an easy way we've kind of jumped in and allowed you to control. And then it's similar with Hive Studio, where you can click a plus button. It'll search for all the network and your whole network and look for all the sources on that network, and then you can easily add your cameras. So you could buy a bundle of cameras and easily set them up immediately and have multi-camera control instantly out of the box. But Hive Studio then allows you to share your studio with someone else. So if you have a volunteer or maybe you have someone new, you can easily share that platform with someone and have it even expire. Say after a certain game day or a certain weekend, you can have it expire, so you never have to worry about someone having access to your cameras after the fact. So what that allows you to do then is easily copy a link or put their email into Hive, and then it'll send them a notification where they can just open up and immediately start accessing and controlling it. So this then opens it up even to viewers as well. So if you have people that want to watch the game and maybe even they want to switch between the type of cameras that they're looking or the view of the field, you can even use Hive Studio to do that as well and make it a viewing experience as well.
Okay. So a lot of what makes professional and college level sports coverage special is the effects, the production values that those teams are able to bring to the production. Thinking lower thirds, stats pop-ups. We always know the projected line of scrimmage, those sorts of things you see on professional coverage. How does the ability of a PTZ Optics system fit into a team that may be kind of aspirational and they were like, we don't want to just cover the game, we want to make it look like a pro broadcast?
Yeah, absolutely. So graphics is a huge portion of that, right? So there are simple ways to do it. I mean, you can use a free platform like OBS. Our cameras work great with OBS or vMix, and you can grow your production from OBS or go to vMix and pay for a software solution like that as well. Or you can look into something that's like cheaper hardware version, like a YOLO box, which you can plug in our cameras via HDMI very easily, and you can easily add graphics and go live directly from the YOLO box as well. Our cameras actually allow you to stream out via RTMP as well. So if you just have one camera and you want to set it up behind home base and just stream out your son's football game or baseball game, you can easily do that as well. But we have a lot of great partners like My Sky Coach, which is a really great partner that allows for instant video replay as well as collecting those stats as well while you're live. That's a huge portion of sports nowadays. It used to be about like, can you just be there to watch it live? Now it's about, can you live stream it and show it in different angles? And now it's also even down to the high school level and even younger in youth sports. We're seeing people that are now going in and collecting analytics. There's some people want to see how many RBIs their son has in a year or how many goals their kid got in hockey that season. So it's growing, and tools like My Sky Coach in combination with like a Move 4K PTZ camera, they create really powerful tools that you can easily kind of change on the fly and use for various sports as well if you use multiple productions for different sports.
We mentioned a couple of times how this system is easy to set up. I know we have a couple of cameras here. Can you give me an idea of what the connectivity looks like, just sort of on the connection
Absolutely.
panel of the camera?
Yeah, so this is our fixed frame camera. It's a Studio 4K. So we also make the Studio SE, which is a 1080p version as well. It comes in 12x and 20x. So this allows you to have a fixed frame point of view. So this is great in combination with a PTZ camera. So whether you want this to be like a goal cam, like right behind a net, or maybe even like on a basketball net, you can mount it so you can see those awesome dunks and those great three-point shots from behind the net itself. But on the back, as you mentioned, you can see that not only do you have SDI, but you have HDMI as well. And even can use USB on our devices as well. And now, of course, you got the NDI and Ethernet port there as well, which is essential for that IP video connection.
Right. And that also, I don't know if we mentioned, limits the amount of cabling that you have to have from the camera on the field to where it's not something like you'd see on an NFL broadcast where it's just miles and miles of cable along the sideline.
Exactly.
You basically have one cable running from your camera, right?
Yeah, exactly. So for a long time, people have been using what you would call a handy cam. So Panasonic or Canon handy cam, and they're great. They're really useful, but you're limited in a lot of ways, and they've kind of become outdated because there is no Ethernet port. So you have to rely on HDMI, and you have to run hundreds of feet, and you're not really going to get a good signal if you're going to try to do that, or you're just not going to find a cable that's that long to do that. But with Ethernet, it's a lot different. You're able to not only in combination use HDMI output or an SDI output, but you can also use IP video as well to bring that feed or send that feed to another location, or even control it with something like Hive Studio or our great SuperJoy controller as well.
Okay, great. So about our controlling options, give us a little insight. I know we have the hardware controllers and the software controllers. Tell us about the difference there.
Yeah. So if you were to buy like an action bundle, it comes with 2 of those fixed frame cameras and 1 4K Move 4K PTZ camera. So you have a lot of options, right? Like I mentioned, we're very open in terms of what we are support and what we are compatible with. So like I said, like OBS, vMix are great software solutions that you can easily use with our products. Mimo Live is another one that's popular on Mac as well. But of course, there's plenty of hardware solutions. The A10 and the A10 Mini of Blackmagic hardware, that's a great option for SDI or HDMI. The YOLO box is like a one-in-all box. It's great because you can add graphics, you can go live from it directly and have multiple sources, and kind of mix and match with all of those sources as well. So we have a lot of different options. Our SuperJoy controller is really great because you can control over 200 different presets as well, and mix and match a bunch of different cameras all at the same time. So if you were to buy an action bundle, it includes that SuperJoy, so you can use and day one immediately start using your SuperJoy, or even use it with Hive and use it with the SuperJoy and Hive at the same time.
So the Action Bundle was specifically created for sports broadcast setups?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So it's included for 4K broadcasting, but it's great for like 1080p live streaming as well. The way we think about the Action Bundle is because it has the 2 fixed frame angles, it's perfect for those locations that you're not going to move. So like a net, or a home base behind the umpire, things like that, where you want to lock on, like a pitcher, for instance. You want a dedicated camera for that pitcher because he's important. There's always going to be someone sitting at that mound or standing at that mound. So it's important to have a mix and match. And if you're saying maybe 4K is not the right option for you, it's why we also have the producer bundle and our flex bundles. Those allow you to kind of mix and match, whether it's a 1080p camera with a 4K camera or a fixed frame camera with a PTZ camera, and that allows you a choice of controller as well, like our SuperJoy. So right. We're extremely, no pun intended, flexible when it comes to our bundles.
Well, and talking about the flex bundle, that's a good option, because if you want to go beyond what has already been sort of curated in the producer bundle or the action bundle, that gives you an option to set up a system that goes way beyond those, correct?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it allows you to kind of expand very easily. Whether you're using something like Hive Studio or a SuperJoy controller, you can just keep adding cameras to that controller, and it makes it very easy to expand. And then the Flex Bundle is not even limited to 3 cameras. That's kind of the minimum you need to reach in order to get that 5% discount. But to go beyond there, you could, supply a whole field of 10 cameras, 6 cameras. So it's a perfect way to get a better price, and also to get ready for your production day one.
All right, great. So what are some good examples of PTZ Optics sort of use cases when it comes to sports coverage?
Yeah, so there's a lot that we've seen recently. I mean, we've gone to some of our own games here, like Westchester University, where we shot a football game that was really fun and exciting. There's Lancaster Archery, which we went to recently, where we could use the Move 4K and zoom into those targets to see those bullseyes happening live. And then we also have like local high schools like Salesianum, who have used PTZ Optics and Move 4Ks all throughout their stadium. And they use that for mainly football, but they have lacrosse and soccer and other sports on that field. And what they've done is create dedicated locations to have their bundle. So they have, I think, around 3 to 4 PTZ cameras, and then they're also using some fixed frame cameras, like I said, for like the field goal or the end zone, because you want to see those, the very iconic shots in sports. You never want to miss those, and PTZ cameras help you catch those.
Sure. And I think it seems like they have, from what I've seen, their setup is very much designed to mimic a pro broadcast.
Oh, absolutely. In terms of a high school level production, Salesianum, it's incredible what they've been able to do. I mean, it is truly production ready, and the best part to me is that students are doing this as well. This isn't like a whole team they've hired to come in. These are all students, and their athletic director, who's helping them in combination create this legitimately ESPN level sports production. So it's really incredible, and we love working with the Salesianum High School.
All right, great. What are some things that we're looking at for the future of PTZ Optics that will fold into making sports coverage even better?
Yeah, that's a great question, because we're always listening to you guys out there. If you have requests, or you're looking for, we have great automation on our cameras, and you can track people and even track multiple people. And we get requests all the time for like ball tracking. So we're looking into options for automation that kind of can expand and go into those fast moving sports. And we're always thinking about connectivity and how we can allow you to take our cameras in more remote places, especially now that we have Hive linked cameras with Hive Studio. So then you can kind of take your camera anywhere and plug and play and just get set up immediately. So you could have a producer at home local to your university or your college or your high school, and even if there's an away game, they could send those cameras out and have one person connect them and have them controlling. But if you're interested in more PTZ Optics sports or anything about sports when it comes to our cameras, you want to head to PTZOptics.com/sports. You can also find a great video by the one and only Paul Richards here at PTZ Optics. He wrote a whole book about recording, the analysis, and live streaming of sports. So there's a lot of great content in there if you want to learn more about that. But otherwise, head to PTZOptics.com/sports.
Excellent. All right, John, it's been great. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it.
Experience the future of video production with PTZ Optics. Enjoy fluid camera robotics, unparalleled connectivity options, free tools, and firmware updates, all backed by award-winning US-based support and robust warranties, perfect for any production. PTZ Optics cameras feature advanced robotics and high-quality optics, including broadcast standard lenses and up to 30x zoom with rapid autofocus. Our high-performance Sony CMOS sensors also ensure vibrant, accurate colors and clear images for 1080p or 4K. PTZ Optics bridges the gap between traditional and modern connectivity, supporting SDI, HDMI, and USB outputs. As pioneers in integrating NDI and Dante AV-H technology, PTZ Optics has been developing solutions to enhance the flexibility and quality of video productions for over a decade. PTZ Optics' advanced auto-tracking technology with presenter lock ensures your subject remains in focus. Dynamic zoom gives you full control over optical zoom during auto-tracking, perfect for manual adjustments on the fly. Plus, PTZ Optics auto-framing technology with group lock easily frames any group of subjects, making it ideal for group discussions, team presentations, and special events. PTZ Optics offers a range of hardware, software, and apps to simplify precision camera control. Whether you're on site in the studio, running your workflow with the award-winning SuperJoy joystick controller, or off-site using PTZ Optics Hive Studio to coordinate with your production team across multiple locations from anywhere in the world, or using one of our free tools and apps to manage your cameras on the fly, PTZ Optics empowers users of all experience levels to streamline their productions. Plus, PTZ Optics cameras and controllers are compatible with many popular third-party products, allowing them to integrate easily into existing production systems and setups. At PTZ Optics, we understand the importance of maintaining a consistent look and feel when coordinating multi-camera productions. That's why we keep track of the details, like color matching. Simple, with precise, easy-to-use free tools compatible with various popular third-party products. Use PTZ Optics Hive Studio or our CMP to ensure that your content always looks its best, saving time in post-production on color matching and more. At PTZ Optics, we stand behind our products and are committed to supporting our customers and partners over the long haul. With robust warranties included as standard on every product, you can trust PTZ Optics solutions to deliver high performance from day one and for many years to follow. Plus, our award-winning US-based support team offers an extensive knowledge base, forums, online case management, and phone and video support Monday through Friday. So, when you contact PTZ Optics for support, you won't get an automated system. You'll get a team of experts ready to help. PTZ Optics offers solutions for everyone, from PTZ cameras to webcams, box cameras, and controllers, for productions large and small. Streamline your workflow, expand your capabilities, and experience unmatched control across your PTZ Optics cameras and over 400 third-party camera models with Hive Studio, all without the need for additional hardware or software. Plus, PTZ Optics is committed to empowering users to future-proof their AV setups. Unlock new features on every PTZ Optics products for years, with free firmware updates and tools included as standard on every model. Because when you work with PTZ Optics, you're not just elevating your capabilities today, you're investing in your production potential for tomorrow, too. Share your vision with the power of PTZ Optics.